Good evening, everyone. I'm Reverend Robin Nashak. It's time to spin into the stillness. And this is our time each week that we carve out for ourselves to be still, to uh, get to know ourselves a little bit better, to perhaps continue our meditation practice that we have started, or maybe we're growing our meditation practice. Maybe we're trying to do something a little differently than we've been doing. Whatever the reason, this is your time to meditate, to be still, and to do some self inquiry and self reflection. So we have a couple of things that we do ritualistically before we start the meditation. First, we set an intention, and this is really so that we can uh, give some shape to what we are asking the universe to uh, provide for us, what we are seeking from the universe. The clearer that we are in our own minds, the more we can choose to happen to advance ourselves in that evolution. So, if you've made vision boards, if you have done any creative visualization, it's pretty much the same thing. It is just us specifying what we are seeking to learn, to experience, to be guided on. And I like to write them down on little slips of paper, just like this one. And that is because if we were in person, I would invite you to, of course, write them down. And then I would gather up those little slips of paper and then I would burn them. I would send them off into the flames where we can release ourselves from the attachment that we've set to that intention. So, setting the intention is important, as well as letting go of our attachment to it so that we don't get so focused on it that we lose sight of the bigger picture that the universe is going to be sending back to us. Or if you are not into the mystical part of all this, what your inner voice is sharing with you about this. It is important for us to articulate what our intentions are, our desires are, because it helps us then take the steps that we need to take to get to those intentions. So let's do it. Doesn't have to be a lot of words. It can be how short or as long as you would like it to be, but just giving some shape, what you would like to see happen as a result of your meditation this evening. What are some of the things that you hope to experience because you are meditating tonight in this community of meditators? So, again, let's set those intentions now, and then we will move on. All right, so I set mine, as you can see right here. And I'm going to put this close to me during my meditation. And I would invite you to, if you've written yours down, to hold it in your palm during your meditation, really energize that intention. If you don't have anything to write with, maybe you can just, kind of write that intention out, mock writing on your palm so that you can kind of keep it close to you as you meditate. Put that near me. Now I'm going to write another one. And that one is going to say the words everyone's intentions. You can see that right here if you can. And that is because, there it is, I can and you can provide the energy to that little slip of paper that serves then as a proxy for all of the intentions that were set. And then I can toss these this into the flames as if it was everyone's that I've gathered and thrown into the flames. So uh, this is our little proxy as if we were together. And I can burn it in the flames as if you had tossed it in yourself. So, first part is done. Let's check out the second part. So, to help, we've set the intention, and to help us uh, get a little more inspiration on how that intention might, or how we might act to make that intention happen, I look to an oracle card, and for a very long time, we've been using the Star Codes Astro deck. You can see that right there. I love this deck. It's simple, and it offers us some thoughts, some guidance as to how, some insight as to how we might move forward with that intention. If you don't believe in the necessarily the mysticism of the cards, that's fine. These cards can serve as a creative prompt for you. So just a little more insight that you happen to pick up that might help you or jar your thinking or change your perspective or expand your perspective on the intention that you set. So the card, it has some beautiful art on it. It has a single word kind of theme or message. And then there's a lot in the accompanying book about the cards that we will read about. And so all of those combined are going to give more specificity to the focus of your meditation as we do that following the drawing of the cards. Does that make sense? So I'm going to shuffle the cards, and then I draw the top card of the deck so that you can see I'm not reaching into the deck to use my own intuition to draw the card. We're going to just draw that top card. Once I've shuffled, this one card will represent all of the intentions that we've set. So it's kind of like the one answer to all of the questions that we are individually putting out there, which is kind of fun. So I'm going to shuffle these along. And of course, as I do this, I'm going to remind you that uh, we might experience ambient noise during our meditation, which means you in your home or wherever you're doing your meditation from might be, you might have chosen a sequestered spot, which is beautiful. We love to have quiet spaces, but, life happens. And dogs may bark, as you may have heard mine do on many occasions. The doorbell rings, someone calls your name that doesn't realize that you're still meditating. Any of those things may happen, and sometimes they startle us out of that meditation. But we would like to uh, quickly gather ourselves up and return to that meditation. So, yes, it's natural for life to happen around meditating, but since our aspiration is to be able to return to this place of stillness uh, whenever, from wherever or wherever, whenever we are, then this is kind of practice. It's, we might be in a stressful or chaotic situation where we might need some stillness, and we don't have that luxury of being in a sequestered place, but we still want to gather ourselves. We want to be able to breathe and call upon some of these images or call upon some of these practices to get us to a place of stillness so that we can respond rather than react to the life going on with us. So I think we're ready. Now, again, the reason I keep using this deck, that I continue to use this deck, is I do love the deck, but we've got quite a few cards to go before we've gone through every card of the deck, before we've drawn every card. Because oftentimes, frankly, we draw the same card that we've drawn either the week before or in the same month. And that is literally the luck of the draw. I shuffled them at home for my own personal use. So they do get shuffled. But sometimes that card is persistent. And so it may either be continuing to kind of tap us on the shoulder about a message that we've had a couple weeks ago, or it might be the best response or the best way to reach the intention that you've set for this week. So that card may be the same card 2 weeks in a row, but has something very different to offer the intention that you've set. So ready for the card for this week. And then we'll meditate, I promise. Card for this week is We might have had this card before, but the card is a Pisces. There you have that card. And I'm going to put it out there for us to be able to look together as I read about the card. Let's call that. So there we have the card Pisces. Now, as I read about the card, take a look at the artwork. What speaks to you about your intention? The message is sensitize, sensitize. So it's involving us, making ourselves vulnerable, and bringing our sensitivity into the message of this card. So the card is Pisces. And again, this is not just for people who are born in the month of Pisces, but it's more that Pisces has a message for all of us. So that message is sensitize. And here's what we can say about it. The symbol for Pisces is two fish, usually swimming in opposite directions. Pisces rules the feet and resonates with wetlands, streams, and ponds. Ruled by expansive Jupiter in traditional astrology and by the intuitive Neptune in modern astrology, mutable water sign Pisces calls us to sense our dreams and intuitive perceptions for the trickles and streams of understanding. The sun shines in Pisces February 20th through March 20th. The action of Pisces. Pisces asks us to swim in the ambient pool of emotion and be moved to compassionate action. With Pisces, think of a vast, watery landscape with streams and meandering over fields through ponds and swamps where different elements and diverse species flow together in one subtle, boundaryless, and fertile landscape. Appreciate all the diverse voices in this situation and take them as tributaries to your river. This complex ecology has so much more to say and is so much more robust than any simple monoculture. The situation you are facing, the intention that you've just set, is also subtle and complex, but that it has its strength. But I'm sorry, but that is its strength, that it is both subtle and complex. This moment calls for finer perceptions, a more sensitive microphone. Be as aware of other people's feelings as you are your own, but know those feelings, know whose feelings are whose. Very important. Track carefully what you soak up from others and what is true to your own wellspring. Learn to honor twin perception, that we are both individual selves within our own work to do, and that our selves are embedded in the body of creation. Healthy boundaries help us do our individual work. Spiritual practice can help us shift our perception from the cell mind to the role in the body of the one. The challenge of this card, Pisces permeability, can leave you lost in a swamp, amorphous, wondering whether your sadness is your own or if it has been sponged up from your surroundings. Empathize with others, but don't try to carry everyone else's pain for them and double the burden for you. The gift of this card, tune into a healthy ecosystem with Pisces sensitive perception. We are all cells in the body of the one. Healthy individuals contribute to the health of the whole. So we are in this messaging again that we are all individuals just like we each set our own individual intention, right? But we drew one card, which is the response to all of those intentions that we've set. We've got all these individual cells to make up our one body, but we are also cells to the one body, to the greater consciousness, and some might even say to the greater earth herself. And again, up through to the universe, it is very much Horton hears a who. You know, we are this speck of life, and that life just keeps expanding on outward. So our role is to sensitize ourselves to the fact that we are unique individuals, but we are all part of the one. And that requires some movement back and forth between understanding our unique role in the space of the all. So that's something to meditate on, and also be thinking about how that is a response to your specific intention. So we are going to work with the bowls this evening, the Tibetan bowls for our meditation. And I'm gonna have I have a different camera this week than I've had, which is what I'm working on. That is going to show just basically the bowls, and it's going to have the card up there when we go to meditate. But it's really we're going to work with, hopefully I will be able to discipline myself and to just allow the sound of the bowls to be your meditation. I'm going to take us to a place and then allow the bowls to continue us there and to help us get in touch with that dialogue with our inner self. So let's begin by relaxing. We're going to take some deep breaths as we inhale and exhale. So we're going to put up the card first. So inhale and exhale. Each breath as you inhale and exhale takes you deeper and deeper into relaxation. Inhale and exhale. More and more relaxed. Yes, Sue's a Pisces. Sue, yes. More and more relaxed. You see your card, you see the bowls. Hopefully you can hear me. But as we continue to relax, our bodies are becoming lighter in weight and lighter. And as they become lighter, we become aware of ourselves as an essence, the self that is in our imagination, or that is of our imagination. So as our body relaxes and we allow it to do so, suddenly our consciousness seems so alive without our bodies. Our imagination is becoming so active. And so let us imagine ourselves now as fish swimming in a deep sea. as those fish swimming, we are so aware of the other colorful beings that we are in this water with. The diversity, the richness of all of the beings that we are encountering in these beautiful blue undersea waters. And this is a place of safety. So it's a little different than the cycle of life. We're all getting along here. No one is a predator. No one is prey. Instead, we are all just beautiful colored entities under the sea, however you choose to experience yourself. And as we are under the sea, we're aware all of a sudden that the environment in which we are swimming, the water, our atmosphere, our living environment, has a voice of its own. And it is speaking directly to us, wordlessly, but clearly. And as we become aware of this voice, that is coming from both this environment around us and deep within us, we allow it to deliver its message to us through the tones of the bowls, through the visualizations that we have in our mind from our imagination, however we best can communicate with this deep self that is both around us and within us. So you can have this conversation right now. And allow the bowls to be your sound bath during this conversation. Now that you've allowed your exchange to happen with this presence that is also the voice coming from within, we can choose, we can imagine our way back to our physical bodies. We say goodbye to all these colorful creatures that we coexist with, many of whom are joining us in this very meditation. We celebrate them as our undersea paradise begins to fade away slowly. And as it does, we find ourselves just kind of slipping back into our physical body. Just kind of oozing right on back in there from the waters, filling our physical self up from our toes all the way up through our legs and torso and shoulders and head, just filling up that physical space. And as we do, our body becomes animated once again. We can wiggle our fingers and toes. We can feel that we've returned. And we can take our quick breaths to bring us back. Let's quickly inhale and exhale. Again, inhale and exhale quickly. And on this last breath, you can open your eyes to return to our space. You can look at the card one last time. To get us ready to send them off into the flames. And return to our selves here. Hello. So, how was it being under the deep blue sea with all these colorful creatures, and not also being aware of how the environment that we are in is also speaking with us, uniting us, keeping us, and informing us in how we can reach our intentions? I hope you had as much fun there in that space as I did. Maybe you were thinking of Finding Nemo or Little Mermaid or something, but I enjoyed that little undersea trip. So it's now time to send them off into the flames, and we can do that. I'm going to take mine first, light it up, and send it in. I'm lighting it today because I couldn't have my candle that I usually have right here because I was playing the bowl. So we're going to send mine first. As that goes down, we toss in everyone's intentions together, and we allow them to go off into the universe. And we allow whatever intention we've set to become manifest. We will likely, of course, have to act on this intention, but we will be doing it naturally and organically because we've set it out there that that's what we are seeking. So Is it for this evening. I am delighted that you have joined us. Yay, Pisces Sue, and thank you for joining us. I see you're on Zoom. Let's see if anybody's joining us anywhere else. And again, sometimes I miss those folks that are on Facebook mostly because there's always this delay and you can, it's a long story, but are we there? There's Joyce, who I missed last week. So glad I could see her this time. Thanks. Good to see you, Joyce. Hope you enjoyed your little trip under the sea. And if you are joining us on the recorded version, I look forward to seeing your comments. So please say hello, which I didn't say. Please like, subscribe, do all the things to this video, please. And let's keep this community. I know you're there because I can see from the stats that you are, but just sharing more. That'd be so wonderful if you did in the coming months. So thank you, Joyce, for saying hello. Anybody else say hello, even if you're joining the recording. I appreciate you. I'm glad you're joining us. I'm glad that you've made your meditation a regular thing for yourself. And I hope you had some fun. And I will meet you here next week at this time. I think I'll meet you here this week. Let me check one more time because yes, I will see you here next week. Same time, same station, wherever you're watching from. I love you. And or good morning or good afternoon.